Today, Canon have announced the brand new EOS R6. This new camera from Canon is interchangeable lens, mirrorless, full frame, and has the RF mount. If you're trying to imagine what this camera is, then if you think about it in terms of DSLR, it's like a mix of a 6D2 and a 7D2. A 6D2, it brings in a full frame sensor, and from the 7D2, it brings in speed. Now this R6 feels very much like an EOS DSLR body. It's got a nice big grip, it has buttons and dials in the right place, and we even have this little extra button here. So for anybody with big hands who thinks their pinky isn't doing enough to add to the hold of the camera, they can use this little button and you can customize it to whatever you want it to be. Inside, we have a 20.1 megapixel full frame sensor, very similar to that we see in the 1DX Mark III. And this can shoot up to 20 frames per second in RAW, which is pretty exciting, using the electronic shutter, and you get dual pixel CMOS AF whilst doing that. It can shoot up to 240 RAWs continuously at 20 frames per second, or over 1,000 JPEGs plus. So if you're trying to capture any action, the R6 can certainly do it. We're seeing 5-axis in-body image stabilization, and this IS system is allowing for up to 8 stops of stabilization across a lot of the RF lenses, which is incredible. That's a huge amount of stabilization. The AF system is also seeing massive improvements over things like the EOS R. When the 1DX Mark III come out, Canon talked a lot about deep learning and how they'd sorted out their tracking so that it was really, really effective with all different things. Well, the R6 benefits from that. And in this system, we're seeing autofocus down to f/22, which is something you don't see very often. And that basically means it can autofocus down to minus 6.5 EV and up to plus 20 EV. Minus 6.5 EV, to give you an idea of what that means, it's like a big, big room, pitch black, with a candle in the corner. That's the sort of focusing level we're talking about there. And in terms of tracking, we've got human eye AF, animal AF, which is basically cats and dogs, but we now have birds as well, and that Canon are quoting birds in flight. Now birds, as we know, is a bit of an odd one because obviously they're quite often browny coloured things against greeny browny coloured backgrounds. So I'm really interested to see how well that works when we get a production model. If you're looking at doing video with the R6, then you can shoot 4K 60p at 422 10-bit, and that's UHD, not DCI like we see in the R5. If you want to slow things down though, you can shoot 120 frames per second in Full HD. You can also shoot time-lapse movies in camera. It will create the time-lapse, so you don't have to be faffing about in post, which is really nice. That's one of my favourite things about this camera. And that can be output in 4K or HD. So it's nice to see a 4K output on a time-lapse movie from a full frame sensor. The body itself is a mag alloy chassis, very similar to the R5, and its weather sealing is similar to a 6D Mark II. It's that sort of level. It feels very EOS DSLR-like in the hands. I've already said this, but it's got a nice big grip. The dials are in similar places, so if you're looking to move from an EOS DSLR, I don't think you'd have any problems changing over to this system. We've also got a fully articulating screen, great for stills and video. Now, we do have dual SD card slots in this and a new battery, the LPE6NH, microphone input, headphone output, and a USB-C port, which means you can charge the battery in camera. Everything should be USB-C now, so that's a thumbs up from me. Now, if you want to know more about the R6, because I certainly do, this isn't a production model, so I haven't been able to take any pictures or get any video with it, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we'll be getting a production sample soon to review. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything. Canon have announced a load of products today, so make sure you check all those out because there's some really exciting stuff. And check out our webpage on the R6 to find out more. We have got so much information on there for you guys. You can also give us a call, send us an email, or of course put a comment here. We'll try our best to get back to you with all the information that you could need. Thanks for watching.